Today on Witness Box News, we bring you the latest from the heart of South Africa's most electrifying commission hearings. Brown Mogotsi, the name on everyone's lips, has stepped back into the witness box, and the revelations are nothing short of explosive. From secretive meetings in shadowy corners of the city to allegations that reach the very corridors of power, Mogotsi's testimony threatens to shake institutions and stir public outrage. But what exactly did he reveal? Who is implicated? And what does it mean for the future of law enforcement and politics in South Africa? In the next few minutes, we'll take you inside the commission, highlighting the moments that left everyone in the courtroom stunned. Prepare for shocking claims, tense exchanges, and the kind of drama that usually only makes headlines days later. Whether you've been following the case from the start or are just hearing the name Brown Mogotsi for the first time, stay with us. This is where allegations become headlines and history is made in real time.
Yes, Mr. Shazwasi.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Mogotsi, when we broke, I was about to ask you just to take us through paragraph 61 and 62, which deal with the disbandment of the PKTT and that letter. Can you read the paragraphs and just amplify anything that you would like the Commission to know in this regard?
Thank you, Commissioners. The fact that a letter addressed to General Masemula by Mkunu, entirely disbanding the PKTT, was leaked on social media on 1 January 2025 was fortuitous. Through the social media leak, it came to my attention. It suited the circumstances and the furtherance of my engagement with Madlanga, bolstering my credibility in that I was in a position to inform him of the disbandment of the task team prior to it being formally made public. The time of year, New Year's Day, further aided my purpose, as Madlanga did not seem to have knowledge of the social media leak regarding the information stated above. The circumstances and moreover the timing in which I could present this information to Madlanga further gained his trust. I created the impression that I was privy to information emanating from the Minister's office prior to it being made public.
Can I ask, do you recall how you came to see the letter on social media? Was it from a personal social media contact or was it from a public social media contact?
It was a public social media contact. In fact, it was all over, Commissioners, even in other social media groups.
And do you recall whether it was on Twitter, Facebook, any particular platform? Is it?
I cannot recall, Commissioner. I just know it was on social media.
And how soon after you received it did you mention it to Mr. Madlanga? Was it immediately? Was it? Did you delay?
I saw that letter on the first. But because of the content of the letter, I decided to withhold the letter for a while, just to see whether is it authentic or not. But as it was still in my possession, it continued to be viral, even the second day. But I did send him a message at night without sharing the letter itself. I only sent it to him the following day, which was the 2nd of January.
Are you leaving the letter?
I am leaving the letter for now. We'll come back to it later.
I've got more questions later on, but for now, why did you think Mr. Madlanga would be interested in the disbandment of PKTT?
Commissioners, the man would be very much interested and happy. As I've alluded earlier, he did, of course, got harassed by the same people, which is the PKTT. Even when they manhandled him, He did make reference that they, of course, also assaulted his wife, and that's why I helped him to go to the police station in Soweto through my arrangement with a co-handler. But in addition, Commissioner, in as much as he was frustrated and telling me that these people keep on looking for money and so forth, and the PKTT does not give him space and all that, I believed that its disbandment will really relieve him.
So there was a lot of discussion between you and Mr. Matala about the PKTT during December 2024.
Yeah, not necessarily a lot of discussion, but I mean, they harassed him, they came to his house, and they also assaulted his wife. It's something not to forget. We cannot just forget that easily if one is on the shoes of Mr. Matala.
And do you know how he knew that it was the PKTT that harassed him, as opposed to any other unit?
Yes, he did mention that they were wearing ballad lovers, they were in KZN cars, and they were speaking Zulu. And as it is also known, people here in Gauteng, the Zulu that they speak is not like the one in KZN. Even if I can speak any language with you, you won't speak Tswana that I speak in my game. Here you speak differently. Even the Zulus here, the Zulu is not like that one in KZN. I think that's where he drew the distinction.
Thank you, Mr. Tescal.
Can you then take the Commission through paragraph 63 to 65?
In testimony before the committee, Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi states that I am not a registered source in police, but yet I have access to everything in the police. I reiterate that Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi could not know that I was a registered contact agent for crime intelligence and therefore privy to the information and documents relating to the inner workings of South African Police Service. By implication, what Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi is saying is that if I were to be a contact agent, I would be privy to this information and his concern would therefore be undermined. The perceived links that I have with persons in the underworld is drawn from WhatsApp communication inter alia with Matlala, which were sent and in execution of my task orders received from my handler in the crime intelligence.
Can I just stop you there? Was your handler aware of your WhatsApp communications with Mr. Matlala? Did you share them with your handler?
It is very, very important that you notify your handler about your discussion. But in the main, you will not wake up in the morning and say, hello, Mr. Matlala, how are you? Then you tell the handler, I just greeted him, he said he's fine. No, you will tell him, I'm going to have a discussion with him, and this is what I'm going to draw, and this is what I want to achieve, or perhaps this is what I have achieved. And you will have your briefings 3 or 2 times a week, but usually you will have to bring everything that you discussed with him.
And would you bring your cell phone so that the handler could actually see the WhatsApp communications?
Yeah, not at all material times. It depends on the content of the discussion. For example, where he insists, I will really have to meet with Minister Senzon. You will then come to him and say, hey, Bafo, this man now is adamant, he's putting pressure. He wants to see Minister Senzon.
Thanks. Then if you can continue with paragraph 65 and 66.
From the outset, and despite the perception which I effectively created with General Mkhwanazi that I was close to and had the ear of Mkhunu, I deny that I had any personal relationship of any kind with him. Him means Mr. Mkhunu. I was neither an associate nor a friend of Mkhunu. I regarded him, and I still do, as a comrade. In the same way as I wanted to create a perception and belief in the mind of Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, I wanted to create perception in the mind of Matlala, but for different purposes. Both, however, will be the execution of my task instruction received from my handler at Crime Intelligence.
Then, from paragraph 67 onwards, you talk about your first approaches to General Mkhwanazi. Can you take the Commission through those paragraphs?
67 in?
67 onwards, all the way through to 72.
I did send the WhatsApp message to Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi on 30 September 2024, an attached document being the OB occurrence book register in a letter. This was my opening communication to Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. The documents were attached to give the message the necessary weight and to get his attention in an attempt to gain his trust. This was in line with my modus operandi as a contact agent. I also sent the follow-up message later that day, moreover with reference to Mutunu being in Lusikisiki. I wanted to leave him with the impression, which later proved to be effective, that I was with Mutunu in Lusikisiki. The contrary was, however, true. I left Lusikisiki a day before the minister's arrival. Mutunu was not aware of that I was in Lusikisiki, and I never met him there. I became aware that the minister was traveling to Lusikisiki via the media. I also sent the WhatsApp message to Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi that he must be mindful and check his standing with Lieutenant General Khumalo in an effort to elicit a response. I confirm once again that at all relevant times, I sent these messages in an attempt to gain Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi's confidence and trust in order to execute my mandate in terms of the task order of my handler.
Can I just stop you there before we move on to the crime intelligence screenshot? Where did you get the occurrence book register extract and the letter?
From one of my sources. Remember, commissioners, the occurrence was a recorded incident that took place, which implicated Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. And having found something that talks to him directly, I knew he was going to respond. And because it was talking about him, indeed, he responded.
And so this is a complaint that had been lodged against Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi in relation to the correctional services incident.
Yes, that's correct. From Kalagabusha, it was about the arrest of possession of drugs against a head of correctional center, which, according to General Mkhwanazi, because when I spoke to him, he responded to me in detail as to what really transpired. Then he ordered that the correctional officer should not be arrested. He cited reasons being he was going to sue the state or South African Police Service. Those drugs were found in a rubbish bin, not necessarily inside the house of a correctional officer. That's what happened.
And when you refer in paragraph 69 to your WhatsApp message to General Mkhwanazi in relation to General Khumalo, what was your intention in, as it were, telling General Mkhwanazi he should suspect General Khumalo?
It is a modus operandi, commissioners. It's similar to someone, a very lovely couple. Even if you don't greet him, he doesn't know you. Should you tell him or ask him, are you sure about your girlfriend? He'll definitely start to ask you, what did you see? Why are you saying that? It's a similar message.
Then you talk about that crime intelligence screenshot. Can you
Sorry, Mr. Chaskasi. So what you were asked, what was the intention?
Was to
was
get
the
him-
intention to create discord between the two of them because you're raising suspicion about the one.
Not
the
to,
other.
obviously, General Mkonazi knew Lieutenant General Kumalo for longer. He wouldn't just take a story from me in the first place and believed me. He may have told him, but it created an environment that he must ask me exactly what did he say. And indeed, he asked me.
Thank you.
Then the crime intelligence screenshot. You say you obtained the screenshot from a confidential source within your network. That's in paragraph 71.
That's correct, Commissioners.
Now, that source would have had to have been present at the crime intelligence meeting, not so?
I don't know, Worship. No, I don't know, Commissioners. Excuse me, sorry.
And did that source know he was dealing with an agent, that he was giving it to you
Definitely,
in your
yes.
capacity as an agent?
That's correct. Network, you may be surprised. We are sitting with more than 400 in the network, 400, a lot of people. And this one may say, my handler attended a meeting and he showed me this, and when I saw that, I used it to my advantage.
But it wasn't just shown, it was captured, because you had an image to give to General Mkonazi.
That's correct, Commissioner. It is a question that I did not ask my source how and when did he get that picture. But it was not the first time. I've been, for example, talking about a presentation of Boko Haram, which is a very confidential document, but I saw it. I may have also taken a picture. So in this network, you are able to get or access such things.
Can you take the Commission through paragraphs 73 to, all the way through to 80?
I fully understand why the chairperson of the committee, during the evidence of Lieutenant General Mkonazi, raises a question. Why would I warn Lieutenant General Mkonazi of an attempt to discredit him? And the reason why Lieutenant General Mkonazi would answer the chairman that he had no idea at the time. He could not and he would not have an idea because absent the explanation that I acted as a contact agent investigating General Mkonazi and being in the process of infiltrating his world, it would be on the face of it rather random. It is clear from the conduct of General Mkonazi after receiving the WhatsApp communication from me that he has established through the Chief of Staff in the Minister's office that the Minister was indeed in Lusikisiki at the time. I indicated that I was there, and by giving a long-winded explanation relating to the charges leveled at the acting head of correctional facility in Kalakabushe at the Empangeni, I managed to get his attention. Lieutenant General Mkonazi defends the long explanation when he given to me regarding this incident, as he believes that I'm close to the minister, hoping that the explanation will reach the ear of the minister. I clearly succeeded in getting the attention of Lieutenant Mkonazi as he chose to engage with me. He inquired as to what Lieutenant General Kumale had said about him with regard to cash in transit. I merely responded that the minister is briefed and he has arrived in Lusikisiki. My reference to the minister Lusikisiki, as well as my presence there, as stated, clearly confirmed in Lieutenant General Mkonazi's mind that I was close to the minister, having knowledge of his movement. With reference to the screenshot depicting the meeting of crime intelligence heads, I requested that General Mkhwanazi keep this confidential and that his best interest at heart. I further communicated to him that the representative within crime intelligence are of the opinion that he does not listen to crime intelligence, that he might have his own cartel, and mentioned that provincial crime intelligence head is retiring in the next month. Once again, my communication had the desired effect, as Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi stated in his evidence that it is his understanding of the message that in the meeting referring to the screenshot attended by a representative of crime intelligence was that he did not want to cooperate and is not working well with the head of crime intelligence in KwaZulu-Natal. Further, that he does not take heed of the information that they are giving him and in turn does not want to operationalize such information. The opposite is underlined by the response of Lieutenant General when he replies and requests the full presentation relating to the screenshot of the crime intelligence meeting, alternatively records of what was said therein. I then replied, reference General Khan, stating this general will brief him next week. My intentional reference to Major General Khan in the WhatsApp conversation with General Mkhwanazi again effectively caught his attention. He makes the following statement in reply: almost, open quote, almost everything that we see happening in Parliament and the media come from that components of crime intelligence, and this is where the real fight comes from, close quote. Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi stated the following, open quote again: the General Khumalo, the Divisional Commissioner Crime Intelligence, approached me and asked me to be a presiding officer. I then agreed. Shortly after agreeing to be the presiding officer, not long after that, I started getting this communication from Mogotsi. But at that time, I'm not understanding as to what this communication, what is the background of this communication. He started to communicate these things to me. That is why throws Major General Khan's name in it, close quote.
Can I just get the timing of these WhatsApps confirmed? Your first approach to General Mkhwanazi was on the 30th of September, and that was the OB WhatsApp, which you record on page 67. The WhatsApps in relation to crime intelligence and the presentation and General Khan, that was the following day, 1 October. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And your purpose in shifting the conversation to General Khan is what you address in paragraph 84. Can you take the commission there?
Should I read this again?
Yes, please do.
I made reference to Major General Khan specifically and reiterate that I was stated herein above regarding the plot surrounding the disciplinary hearing of Major General Khan and the contrived outcome thereof. I wanted to create perception in General Mkhwanazi's mind that I may know of the plot. To elicit a reaction from Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, I reasoned if he suspected that I had knowledge of the plot, he would not accept the appointment to chair the disciplinary hearing as requested by General Kumar.
So you were mentioning Major General Khan specifically because you knew about the plot and you wanted essentially to signal to General Mkhwanazi that you were aware of the plot and that he might then choose not to take on the disciplinary committee and not to carry forward that plot. Is that what your intention was?
Yeah, I'm simply saying he may have thought I knew. Commissioners, remember the recording part only happened in December. This was our conversation during October or after September.
But sorry, I don't understand 84 then, because what 84 says to me is that in October, you mentioned Major General Khan specifically
Yes.
because you wanted to create a perception in Lieutenant General Mkonazi's mind that you may know of the plot.
Yes.
Did you know of the plot
I
at
did
that stage?
No. This would be, that's what I'm saying. It should be captured correctly. I spoke to General Mkonazi, and we only knew about the plot when we did the 252A thing. But in October, I had already heard that it is General Mkonazi who was going to preside over the case of General Khan. But I did not have any interest of some sort at that time, until that time when we conducted the 252.
But then why did you have any reason to mention Khan in your WhatsApp to General Mkonazi on the 1st of October?
It is Lieutenant General Mkonazi, who, according to him in the statement, was thinking that I have mentioned this because I knew he was going to preside. Indeed, I knew, but I'm trying to say it should be properly recorded that the conversation between the recording of the particular process, the 252A, about the plot, only got carried out or conducted when we did the 252.
So I understand what you're saying now, but I still can't make sense of 84. Maybe if you could just reframe 84 as you would want it, if 84 is saying the wrong thing in relation to the plot. No, what is it that you're saying in relation to General Khan and General Mkonazi?
May I just approach, Cousin?
The story is yours, and you know what the evidence is.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
I'm just trying to say this. The paragraph may have been captured, not should have. But the part of the paragraph could have been captured in another paragraph. What I'm saying is, when I spoke to General Khan about this incident, to General Mkonazi. No, I should put it properly, sorry. When we did the 252A, it was done after this conversation. So I'm simply trying to say the part where we speak about the disciplinary hearing didn't have been before the December 252A. Is probably not placed.
So this reference to a perception in Lieutenant General Mkonazi's mind that I may know of a plot shouldn't actually be in this paragraph.
Yes, should have been. I'll show you where it's supposed to come. You will check that. Not congratulating. May I just have a second to rectify this, Commissioner?
Mr. Chairperson, unless it's crucial that he should deal with it now, which
No.
I don't think should be the case, Mr. Mogotsi is coming back tomorrow.
Certainly. Maybe we can clarify this tomorrow.
Yes,
it's not a critical issue at all.
Yes.
And thank you, Commissioner. Perhaps there will be time for cross-examination, and this will be wrongly placed here. Thank you.
It will be sorted out before you are cross-examined. Thank you, Mr. Mogotsi.
Then, if you can possibly finish off with paragraphs 85, 6 and 7.
Thank you. Paragraph 85, I did send a message to Lieutenant General Mkonazi stating, congratulations, you are going to save the country. I knew a press conference was going to be held by Lieutenant General Mkonazi before it happened. I wanted him to know that I had this knowledge and furtherance of my investigation. This conversation took place shortly after the arrest of General Kumar. I was under the impression that General Mkonazi was going to have a very positive press conference, and therefore I wrote the message as aforesaid. The later transpired not to be the case. My message sent on 4 July 2025, congratulating General Mkonazi that he's going to save the country, clearly further caught his attention and he deemed it necessary to respond thereto. I did direct the communication to General Mkonazi requesting him to intervene. This was not out of genuine concern about the situation that was unfolding regarding warrants of arrest that were procured. This was, in my view, as a knee-jerk reaction to the arrest of General Kumar, to arrest certain other high-ranking police officials, including General Masemola. I wanted to know how Lieutenant General Mkonazi was going to react. I further also wanted to know what his next step would be. I contemplated genuinely possibility that he might resign from his position during the press conference that was going on.
So if I understand you correctly, that message in early July you sent really to try to work out what Lieutenant General Mkonazi was going to do next.
Yes, but just to add on that, Commissioners, there was a heavy observation, because that week, General Mkonazi came to Gauteng, and that's why earlier I spoke about something like a coup of some sort. Here in Pretoria, at the police college, including General Masemola, he stayed the whole night there. And that's where I derived...
Sorry to interrupt. Who stayed the whole night? No, General Masemola or
after General Mkonazi came here, frequented and went back, General Masemola and the other team, they stayed at the college for the whole night during that week of the press conference. And the information we have, I believe, I'll be perhaps guided how to perhaps supplement if we reach the conclusion of what we are working on. I can confirm that the press conference, the statement which General Mkonazi read, was not typed in KZN. It was typed here in Pretoria at the college. We're going to even find the computer from which that statement was typed. It was not typed there.
You're saying you found, or you are hoping to find?
No, there is. We are 80% already. The 6, that's why I'm saying you should check. When I sent him a message in advance, Commissioners, it was after the arrest of General Kumalo, General Lukalakala, and those other brigadiers. And General Masemola, after the arrest, maybe that should be recorded.
It's either you found it or you have not found it. You cannot find it 80%, Mr. Mogotsi. Please make me understand.
You get that a person tasked will say, I have it. Now, for me here to say, I have it, I'll not be telling the truth. I hope if he's watching, he'll just call me and say, hey, I have it. But from the person, for 4 days, we placed the network to monitor the movement before this press conference. And even I don't want to go into the content of the press conference and leave the script, but I hope the stage will come for one to elaborate the investigation around this July 6 press conference.
You say that you contemplated the genuine possibility that General Mkhwanazi might announce his resignation at the press briefing.
Yes.
Why did you contemplate that?
You see, the arrest of General Khumalo is a breaking point. It almost changed the South African police service. Everything changed. That's why we are here. That's why I'm able to say there is intelligence report in 2018. I know of 2019, 2021. There is no such thing as the big five and things they're talking about. General Mkhwanazi, he was angered by the arrest of General Khumalo. Even the press conference was only about that, where he said there is a drug cartel. They are using this tactic of misdirection, commissioners, too. Like you say, the PKTT was disbanded because there is a drug cartel which Minister Mtuni wanted to protect. KT Molef, these people were still going to be arrested whether the PKTT was there or not. Now, they just brought a big narrative. If you allow me, Chair, commissioners, I can just 1 minute to show you this thing properly. There is this thing called the misdirection, to mislead how everything happened. I'll give an example of this witness, C, who came here with the recording. He came with the recording, they say, Brown Mogotsi had 500,000 for him and Senzo Mtunu, and then again they came with, Kat says, on the recording, I gave Sibia 2 million plus 1 million per month, and I know, the witness C, I think I know him. He's having a rank in the South African Police Service. They know, in terms of the law, they're supposed to subject Kat Matlala with his recording to a magistrate for a confession statement and immediately on the spot apply for a warrant of arrest for Brown Mogotsi, Senzo Mtunu, and General Sibia. No, they bring it and play it raw here. They just come with information that that will never be admissible in the court of law. To say we gave him 500,000, and then on the recording they asked Kat, was it cash or what? He said, no, he was in Cape Town, I sent it. They don't immediately ask from the records, show us the balance or the proof of 500,000. It's a similar thing, Commissioner, with when General Mkhwanazi was speaking in that press conference. Check this thing that he raised. He spoke about the magistrate who imposed a bail condition against the crime intelligence general. Even Nelson Mandela, the most respected president, he never called a press conference with people holding rifles behind him. And General Mkhwanazi speaking about that magistrate, I can assure you, is either he recused, he even resigned that magistrate. To say, how can he impose a bail condition like that? Whereas he knows they could just apply for the relaxation of bail condition and life goes on. But he was able to threaten that magistrate. He did not even worry during his statement, commissioners, that it was Fadil Adams in Cape Town who opened a case against General Lushaba, the one I spoke about with the housebreaking and stuff, and other cases. What happened in the Cape Town, the matters could not be investigated. It's written on my statement, it is a practice across the country. PKTT and this police mafia cartel, this group of policemen, they don't want to be accountable. When the case could not be opened in Cape Town, he came to Soweto again, and the matter could not be investigated. He requested the AD-HOC, and AD-HOC confirmed during the ad-hoc that it was a Section 27 referral. But Becky Taylor came to Parliament and said, no, it was Nkabinde who wrote the letter. Becky Taylor came to the ad-hoc and said, Kat told him, Brown Mogotsi and Senzo, they were together with Kat, he spoke about money. As a former minister, he was supposed to say, where is the date? Call Khumalo, obtain Section 205, locate Brown Mogotsi, Senzo Mtunu, and Kat. They bring is to mislead everyone. They bring information that does not going to work. There's one, just coincidentally, there's a priest, that priest Bushiri. He came now on the light. He's saying he gave Sibiya 12 million. He's talking so much money. I can attest, I assure you now, the period in question, Sibiya was not a policeman. But because there's a misdirection, there is something that is concocted just to say this one is doing that. Now, I hope we're going to go into the messages, Commissioner. You will see messages that I sent to Kat, messages that I wanted to publish secretly, came out this Sunday from the, I don't know whether the Sunday World got it, but it speaks of the Inspector General, that's the report he did. It's there in those messages. They're not talking about it. It's there in my messages that the car, the Mercedes-Benz belonging to the crime intelligence was used, and the AK-47 was taken from the SAP-69 for the death of Magat. They don't talk those things. They want 149,000. They want Muntunu with the... It's just to mislead everyone. They even did that in the absence of the president. We thought Masemola will say, you are not supposed to call a press conference like that. He did not even respect the protocol. No, he's endorsing that. When these generals are arrested, he refused to suspend them. What did he do? He took the same provincial commissioner who was in Western Cape who refused to open those cases. He's now working in the office of General Masemola, Patekile. In 6 days, he met those generals which were arrested. He cleared them and said, internally, they are not wrong. They must come back to work. I speak to you now. Lushaba is back to work. I believe General Kumara, Lieutenant, is going back to work this week. It's because of this police mafia. There is something that is colored to mislead everyone. Big Five, the cartel. Gaten Mackenzie, the minister, said there is a mafia, Chinese mafia, Russian mafia, spoke so many things. But in this report of the Big Five, there is not even one Chinese, not Russia, nothing. They just orchestrate things to mislead the public. Thank you, Commissioner.
Can we...
Chair, sorry, can I just... You were asked the question about why you entertained the possibility that General Mkhwanazi would resign at that press conference. Now, I'm trying to reconcile that and maybe explain it, that in the preceding paragraph 85, you say, this is at page 18, you say at the end of that paragraph, you say, I was under the impression that General Mkhwanazi was going to have a positive press conference. So you say that, and then in the later paragraph, you then say you are under the possibility, you contemplated that he was going to resign. Is that the positive that you're talking about? That it would have been, you contemplated he would resign, and that is what you had in mind as a positive thing that would happen?
Yeah, thank you, Commissioner. In those messages, and I heard him when he was giving evidence here, he said, me and him spoke on the phone. We spoke about how easy it is for one police officer to obtain a section, a J50 for another officer, and these arrests are now happening randomly. I thought on the basis of that discussion, he would bring a conference that speaks to uniting the police community, uniting the infighting, as opposed to what, or you would resign. That's what actually I said.
So you considered the resignation to be the positive thing? Because I'm trying to make sense of two seemingly contradictory statements that you're making. You contemplated he would resign, but earlier on, you make the statement you thought something positive would come out of this press conference. I'm trying to make it make sense.
Yes, Commissioner, thank you. It's the paragraph speaks about the conversation that took place after the arrest of General Kumar. And I was under the impression he was going to have a positive press conference, and therefore wrote that above message. But I said the later transpired not to be the case.
All right, I think you've answered me as best as you can. Thank you.
Thank you.
we come now to the communications, and I will take you in some detail through the communications in due course, because I do need you to explain some of them to us. But let's first deal with the ones that you mentioned in your statement before we go to the annexure. And the first one you mention is a WhatsApp of 31 December 2024, saying, and you say you sent the WhatsApp message to Madlanga on 31 December stating today is the day and Madlanga should just stand back. Can you just go to page 59 of the witness statement bundle? I think that's the WhatsApp you're talking about. Do you have it at 11:32 on the 31st of December?
That's correct, Commissioners.
So there you write to Madlanga outstanding issues. Now this again. Today is D-Day on the other side. I also think you must stand back. So that you wrote.
That's correct.
What did you mean today is D-Day on the other side?
Yes, the message 11:32, 11:31, I say, I'm now worried, my brother. And 11:32 is responding, or same seconds, worried about what? And then I said outstanding issues. Now this again. Today is the D on the other side, stand back. Then he asked, stand back. Don't understand what you mean. Then there comes my response. For your safety and business.
But I'm curious as to what you meant by saying today is D-Day on the other side. What did you mean with that?
That was the issue of, remember it was before the January 8, there was the first deadline to do the payment. The other side, that's what he had to do for the January 8. But that one, then on the other side, and then he said, I think you must stand back. Then stand back, he said, I don't understand. And I said, for your safety and business. That was the deadline for the other thing to be paid for the January 8. The other side. It was a deadline, it was a D-Day for that one.
So you're saying that when you referred to D-Day, you were referring to the January the 8th
yes, because
payment.
I say outstanding issues at comma, then I speak about now this again, but today is a D side on the other side. I refer to the D-Day for the payment.
Mr. Mogotsi, what does the January 8 celebration have to do with Mr. Madlanga's safety and business?
Those were two issues. The same way when the PKTT went to his house on the 6th, there was that information again. That's why I spoke about his safety and business, that they were going into his business again, and they would also either confiscate or do something. It was just information that came that time.
But this is the 31st of December 2024.
Yeah.
Why do you say for your safety and business? What did you know about the PKTT?
I'm saying I did tell him over the phone as we spoke. I heard that they were going to go back to him again. And this time they were going to either close his business, because there was a time when they took his firearms and he's running a security company. Then I said, this time, just for your safety and for your business, that's what I was referring to. Sorry.
So did you think that the PKTT
was going to
go to Mr. Madlanga's house on the 31st of December 2024?
Not necessarily the 31st. It was, I thought, any time during that time. Any time.
Including the 31st of
yes,
December 2024?
But the part of the other side was D-Day, was the payment. It was not, I hear everyone saying now, I was saying the D-Day for the disbandment. And Essen, remember we've been talking about this legend. You don't apply it when you lie unnecessarily. You cannot lie under oath. I would say, no, I was referring to my work. No, it's not like that, Commissioners. This was clearly for the deadline, and the other one, it was for the suspicion that the PKTT was going to go to his house again and his business.
Why did you suspect the PKTT would go to his
It's
house?
information that you get, Commissioner, every day.
Yeah, but why? What is
It's
it
because they
about
told me. It's because what they told me.
Your sources told you that
Yeah,
PKTT...
it's not only about sources. You always hear, I can't remember. We were doing something here, Commissioner, here in this institution, with somebody else, and I just said, I wish I can just share you with my phone and see what comes in my phone every minute. Where they were talking about the 20, what. It's like that. Every time something will come, hey, there's a hit where, hey, there's a CIT, it is that life. But there was a suspicion that they're going to go to his house again, that time.
So someone told you
That's correct.
that the PKTT was going to go to his house
get
on the
my-
31st.
Yes, that's when I was talking to him.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Then if we go down to page 62,
And
at the foot of the page,
62,
62,
page.
page 62. You say in your statement at paragraph 89, I did not send the WhatsApp communication to Madlanga on 1 January 2025, stating, good day, I have arranged a meeting for Sabia and the minister must have a solution. You say you didn't send that one.
That's correct.
You then say in paragraph 90, I'd like to point out there's a screenshot of what purports to be Matlala's phone. It stands to be noted that a screenshot is easily manufactured and cannot be relied on the face of. In my view, regard must be had to the original message on the original phone on which it was received, referencing the phone number of the recipient and the sender. What I can say to you is that what you see in this document that's being displayed here is a printout of a single Android WhatsApp file that is recorded on Mr. Matlala's phone. So this is not a screenshot. This is something that is printed out from a single Android file recording the WhatsApp calls between Mr. Matlala and yourself. That's the genesis of it.
Is which page, Commissioner? 60?
Sorry?
Is which page 63?
It
Or
is
the same one
page
that-
62.
If I did not mishear Mr. Shaskarson, I think you said calls. It's mostly chats or not? Yeah.
Well, chats and calls. It is a WhatsApp file that contains a record of all of the WhatsApp messages, be they voice or chat, between two parties on an Android device. Sorry, on an Apple device, because it's from the i16. So what is printed out here is the entire contents of the record on Mr. Matlala's Apple i16 of the WhatsApp calls and chats between himself and yourself.
Do you follow the substance of the point being made by Mr. Shaskarson, Mr. Mogotsi?
Yeah, I'm trying to, as I do follow that you say it's a printout. Commissioners, this message compared to all these other messages that speaks very implicating issues that I said I have typed, I would have easily said, yes, I wrote this message. Perhaps the Commission should allow me that tomorrow I must bring you must tell me what I must bring. I can make, this is easily fabricated. There was a message of Brown Mogotsi with the Treasurer General of the ANC that she wrote me a message that I must attack Fikile Mbalula, which I never spoke to the Treasurer General of the ANC. So these messages can easily be. You even during this other ad-hoc Advocate Johnson, she did confirm that some of the messages from Kat's phone were tampered with. The moment you delete, the moment you delete, it means you have tampered.
You're standing by your version that you didn't send this. I must just place on record that your paragraph 90 is wrong. It isn't a screenshot. So if you still want to stand by the version, knowing that it's not a screenshot as opposed to a printout of the WhatsApp file on the Apple.
I stand by that. I stand by
Okay.
that. Yes. And then I will.
Just before you move on, there is the possibility that your point is this may not necessarily be a screenshot, but even if that be so, it is still manufactured.
It's not my mistake.
There is the second possibility that it purports to be a screenshot, but it's manufactured. Which one of the 2 points
No,
are
the
you
first
making?
one that you say, according to the evidence leader, commissioners, is saying this is not a screenshot, it's a printout. So I'm saying
It's a printout of chats, not
Yes,
not
not
a
a
screenshot of chats. Yeah.
yes. So I'm saying, in as much as, but I don't remember myself sending this message, and perhaps tomorrow there'll be an opportunity to share with the Commission. How do you mention in my world the name minister or Sibia or another person? I will have. I don't remember myself. I did not send this message. And in as much as I say it's not implicating me in any way, there's no need to say I did not send it. I could have said, yes, I sent it, I was in field. Just like I've been explaining prior commissioners.
Thank you.
If we then proceed, paragraph 91, you say you did send the message, send the WhatsApp to Madlanga referencing that the task team came to his house and harassed him. And that is a message on the 1st of January, and it's at 22:38 on the 1st of January. That's the message that you're confirming you did send.
It's page 60, the message, so page 63.
Page 63 at 22:38.
That's correct. I did send this message.
Paragraph 92, you explain why you sent it. Then in paragraph 93, I think you are referring to the message on the 2nd of January at 8:58, where it says they got the letter on Monday. As we speak, they're bringing all the dockets to Sibia.
That's correct. I sent it.
And that you say you did send.
Yes, I did send this message.
And in paragraph 93, you explain why you assumed that they were bringing the dockets to General Sabia. Can you just read that for the Commission?
Although the information contained in the letter of the Minister Intalia disbanding the PKTT task team did not include any reference to the National Deputy Commissioner Jan Sivia taking control of the dockets, that the PKTT was, or taking control of the dockets that the PKTT was investigating. This would have occurred as a matter of consequence. I say this because the Deputy National Commissioner of Police is responsible for all the dockets within the South African Police Service across the country. I therefore implied in my mind that when a specialized task team like the PKTT is disbanded by the Minister of Police, the dockets being of a very high profile will resort under the care, custody, and control of the Deputy National Commissioner General CB.
So if I understand you correctly, you're saying you made an assumption that when disbandment took place, in terms of ordinary SAPS protocols and procedures, the dockets would be taken to the office of General Sabia.
Yes, I'll perhaps also give where I derived that there was a matter of the VIP protection of the Deputy President. The VIP protection of the Deputy President, and the case was opened against them. They had to do their bail process and so forth. And there was a time when I asked a very close friend of mine that, now, how far is this investigation? And the person said, no, we'll have to ask Sibia, all dockets belongs to him. And only to find out those ones did not go to General Sibia, but they were done by presidency as we were talking. But he said, except this one, all the dockets across the country goes to Sibia. That's how I knew that as a decision of the minister disbanding, it will go. The dockets will go to General Sibia.
Can I ask you a question, Mr. Mogotsi? Why did you not think the dockets would go to the stations of origin in KZN? Why did you assume that they will go to General Sibia in Pretoria?
I do not think there's one person with that authority to disperse the dockets in one province. They had, remember, they had to be taken to the national office for rearrangement and placement of the new investigating officers, arrangement with the DPP or prosecutors responsible. It could not be done at the station level. It's my thinking.
And how did you know that? Because those are internal SAPS processes.
That's my world, Commissioner.
No, the reason I'm asking you this question is that we had a very senior official from SAPS yesterday, General Motsipe, and she was not clear about the process. And here you are, a citizen who's not part of the SAPS, and you seem to know better than her what was to happen with the dockets.
I cannot respond to that question that I know better than her. And I'm saying the fact that during some time we were just sitting with my handler and other friends, when we spoke about the docket, it was confirmed that all the dockets in the country reports, actually, it is the DNC, particularly Research General CB, who's responsible for all the dockets.
Why did you think, or why did you consider that Mr. Madlanga should know that the dockets, the PKTT dockets, are going to go to General Sibia? Why was it important to tell him?
Yeah, it's true, Commissioner, just like the previous question from the Commissioner, that how would I know when someone, a senior official from SAPS, could not line up the answers like I do, seeming I know that. It was to boost and to show that I'm in charge when I speak to my target. And he felt it that, yeah, this man is in charge. is just to tell him, remember, he did not have a case with the PKTT, he did not have a docket, but informing him that now the docket are going to Siberia is an indication that that PKTT now is no more and the dockets are even moving to the national office.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Then in 94 and 95, you talk about the Thabo Bester case. Is there anything you want to add to what you say there?
No, I'd not add anything. It is just that it became so viral, and I did mention it's only the information I gave to my handler, and I still confirm the content of paragraph 24. And further that in 95, it is not, like I said, General Mkhonazi imputes that Major General Khan had informed me of the details of the operation. No, I merely relayed this information to my handler. And I'm not close to General Khan, but in case he shared something with me, I would have known better about that process. So I only gave little information.
In paragraph 96, you say, in amplification of what I'd stated above relating to my investigations of Matlala, I sent a WhatsApp to Matlala on 26 January reminding him to submit his invoice. I think you've got the date wrong. There doesn't seem to be a WhatsApp of 26 January. I'm not sure what you're referring to there. Maybe overnight you could...
Oh, I wanted to say, remember that request.
Maybe what
not by us, not by us.
Chair, we did make a request if we could take a 5-minute break on the hour. So maybe if we could take that now, yes. And during this break, maybe we could get the correct date and reference for paragraph 96.
Let's come back at 10 past. Let's adjourn.
As the commission closes another tense session, Brown Mogotsi's testimony leaves the nation reeling. Vusi Muzi Kadmadlala's shadowy dealings, aided by accomplices Cedric Kaband, Julius Mkwanzi, and Makunu, expose a network of corruption that runs deep. Generals Mkwanazi and Kumalo, figures trusted by the public, are now under intense scrutiny, while General Sibia's alleged involvement only deepens the controversy. Shell companies, secret bank accounts, and covert operations paint a chilling picture of power abused and trust betrayed. Mogotsi's words reveal not just crimes, but a system teetering on the edge, where accountability remains uncertain. The question now isn't only who is responsible, it's whether justice will act before these revelations fade into silence. One thing is undeniable: the truth is out, and its consequences are only beginning. The nation watches, and history will remember these explosive moments.